Yeah, man. There we go. This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
God, it's great to be a Cowboy, isn't it? This is how we do stuff. This is the Cowboys. We're trying to do something. Really, it's time to leave the football team. It's time. It's your time. It's our time right now. 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 It's our time right now.
He was a giant, and he was a cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Are we here? Are we here?
We
there we go. There we go. Hey, Byron. Good
What's
to see
going on?
you this evening.
Happy Wednesday to you, Jim.
Yeah. Hump day. Hump day.
Hump day it is. Hump day it
To
is.
the weekend.
Yeah.
To the weekend. A lot of things to talk about. A lot of things that happen. I'm watching, actually, Milwaukee play Boston. Milwaukee's up 54-42 with a minute 40 left in the second quarter. So we'll talk about that a little later. A lot of stuff to talk about. The big thing this week was Tom Brady.
Tom Brady stays in the news. I'll tell you that.
Offered the largest sports deal, $375 million.
Right. Man, that's – I guess, he's such a hot commodity that, it's always a big plus for these people to reach out to him because he got all kind of things going. I wish I was his agent.
Yeah. But here's my question is first of all, I've never heard him speak on a long-term time. And what if he's no good? What if he's not good at commentating?
Well, they got all these practice runs, and I'm pretty sure that he's gonna be well prepared. And I think if Troy Aikman can do it, I think Tom Brady can do it.
Well, here's my thing: is Emmitt Smith tried it, if you remember?
Yeah,
and he didn't. Even Michael Irvin actually tried it on ESPN at one time, and it didn't. It wasn't successful. Both of those guys. Right. So you never know who's going to be successful and who's not in that business, and it's really how you present yourself.
Yeah,
you got to break it down. Obviously, that the everyday fan is going to understand, and that's the thing that makes the announcer successful. John Madden was a unique one because he was boom, bah, and he was making all the noises.
And zoom and zoom, and and the turkey day and turkey legs, and man, he brought it to where it is today, though.
He did, but that's the thing that he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to have some personality. He's gonna have to make people. What Tom Brady said, things like that. And I mean, that's gonna have to happen for him to be successful.
And it usually take a while for guys to get that feel and that comfort level. Tony Romo, he's doing a superb job now, as well as as well as Troy Aikman. Now those guys are doing an outstanding job.
No question, and they did. I'll be honest with you, I like Troy Aikman better than Romo, and the reason is Romo is, to me, is a lot of things, but Troy's had championships. He's won championships just like Brady.
So you have to win championships in order to be sad.
No, you don't. But what I'm saying is that when he says something, he's been in that situation. He's been in tough situations and won.
Yeah.
Romo hasn't done that.
But you know what I like? What I like about Romo. He give you the play before the play happened. I mean, he called. I mean, he give a more in depth of what the play and how the play developed and what the quarterback was thinking. And he gave you the mindset of a quarterback that actually played the game. Where Troy is a little bit different to me. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but I just like, to me, Troy is easier to appreciate than Romo on the really.
But Troy's not easier to approach. I heard he's not easy. Romo is easy to approach, but Troy is,
See, and maybe because I played with him, I would disagree with that.
Okay.
And maybe he's just, a little bit more protective of himself, but I've played with it, and I've been in locker rooms, and that makes a difference. So you have a good point there. Some people are different when the public as then behind the doors.
But I think Tom Brady would do well. I think he's the type of guy with his personality. The man, when he step in the room and when he's approaching anything, I know he's taking it to heart. And you know how competitive the athletes are. And I think he's gonna really have it down to where he can be a little bit different and unique.
Yeah, and what's interesting, and this will blow your mind, is that with this contract, if it's true in 10 years, he'll make more than he made as an NFL player, and he's played 50 years.
Yeah, I'm dead there 25 years for sure. Yeah,
and that, to me, that shocked me, because you would have thought Tom Brady would have made more than $375 million.
Yeah, plus guaranteed. Yeah, exactly. And plus, do they just talking about the salary? They ain't talking about all the endorsements and things like that.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's just salary.
Right.
And I think, like you said, Fox made a preemptive move because every network's going to be after Tom Brady.
Yeah, and I think they want to solidify, their football future for his broadcasting games, probably.
Yeah.
I'm happy for Tom, man. I always have been a Tom Brady fan myself. Cause
I'm happy for him. I could go either here or there with him, and I'm not. But, I mean, the guy has won, and you have to appreciate that. No matter what fans or what team you are, the guy's a winner, and he always has been.
Right.
And, he's got to support Giselle. I mean, he got to make a lot of money to support Giselle.
Exactly, man. I just, I'm glad that, guys could have another platform for us, making salary, making money for your family,
exactly.
and securing security for a long term. I mean, that's really good.
No question. And now they're talking about him. He's going to be more committed to players' rights.
Yeah.
Players' rights. And that's
one thing that I've been trying to do in the NFL Players Association. We see so many other things. Like today I was upset with the NFL Players Association about some scholarship things that's going on with our chapters. And, me and Priest Holmes got on the phone and talked about some things. But, it's something always constant that we can work on to improve, especially improve the life of guys who retired and who some of them are forgotten. And so, we want to make sure that guys know what the benefits are, what they qualify for, and those things. So, and that's what it should be. We are a group, a family of men that had to go through a lot of hardship, a lot of sacrifices that we made.
No question. But let me ask you this question. It's a little bit off base, and we got other things to talk about. But this NIL, what is your take on the NIL right now?
I saw a clip. Deion Sanders talked about it. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
No, I haven't.
It's that the NIL, newness, likeness, and imaging, right? And Deion saying that now you're getting paying these high school and these young players all this money. And then you need to have the coaches being paid in reference to what these players are getting. Because after a while, when a guy is making so much money, he ain't gonna want to listen to you. So they ain't gonna want to listen to some of these coaches. So I can see that a lot of it's going to be watered down to where now you giving these guys who probably be these superstars, these heroes, these images, and you might be a great player at 17 versus when you get 21, 22. So now you're getting these kids all this money. And so I think now it's an out of order type case scenario. And I still think, you need to be coached. You need to be, there's got to be a hierarchy of how things are approached. And there's a learning curve in football. And as well as I do. So
yeah,
I don't know.
And I agree with everything you're saying. But here's the thing that when you talk about this is the issue they're having in the NFL with players making so much money that they become more important than the coach. It's easier to let a coach go and keep the player,
right?
And have somebody that has better relationships with them. Now, with the NIL, there's a lot of things that go into it. First of all, you're basically paying for untapped potential, because we saw this with the quarterback that went to Ohio State from Southlake here in Texas,
right?
And now he's at Texas. And now he's at Texas,
mm-hmm.
And it's and he hasn't done anything. But yet he got over $1 million worth of endorsements in the NFL.
Right.
And I heard, and they're saying this might not be true, and they can't do this. You can't have performance-based things in the NIL. It has to be. So, but I had heard that if he didn't start 8 games, they were going to take that NIL away from him.
Now, who regulating that? Who's
there is nobody. There isn't. It's the Wild Wild West. It's just like the receiver from Pittsburgh who was the Biletnikoff winner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What had happened is somebody offered him. They don't know his teammate for 1 year, $3.5 million, and they offered him. They said in L.A., USC offered him a place to live. They gave Lincoln Riley a $15 million house.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And they were saying they told the kid, "Don't worry about living here. We'll pay for it. Booster is paying for it," and they gave him $3.5 million. Now, if you're 17, 18, even 21 years old, how can you turn that down?
You can't. You can't turn it down, and you just think your family is in a whole different case scenario. You just skyrocket for how your family can live. Now, in my high school, it's an 8th grader in Texarkana right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's an 8th grader. He's a phenomenal, and Penn State then offered him a full ride in the 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I just can imagine what's going to happen to him in the next 2 years.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. And now they're even putting that in high school, if you notice.
Yeah.
And now what's happening is this thing is open up Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Because now they're recruiting. Other high schools are recruiting these players.
Yeah.
They're recruiting these players to come play for their high school.
Yeah, and that's what I heard. IMG in Florida is recruiting this kid already. I mean, they want to move the family down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. IMG and some high schools, some public high schools, they'll move the parents and put them in their district. And they'll pay for them to live there. And the kid basically doesn't have to pay anything. He's supported his family.
So do you agree at some point they got to stop this or cap it or have some type of
they have to have some rules for it.
Yeah.
Because right now it's the Wild Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, to me, is the teams that have the biggest budgets, the most boosters, the Texas, the USCs, the Alabamas, Georgias, they're going to be more successful in getting these kids because they're going to get the cream of the crop. I mean, because they have the people that can do it. And some of those teams have been doing it anyway. Now it's just legal. They've opened up a Pandora's box and making the better teams better.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Texas is, but where teams, when you don't have all that resources, that's the ones that's going to affect.
Yeah.
It's probably Oklahoma is a great team. I mean, great people, but I'm sure they don't have the money that A&M, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Florida. And then, like you said, the problem you run into, these are 17-year-olds, and they're going to, just to be honest, they're going to think that they can do anything they want.
Yeah. I know what my mind said when I was 17. Yeah, I got caught drinking at a track meeting. I had to run 50 miles to play football because I wasn't even focused. I didn't know nothing about anything. And you subject to make so many mistakes at age 17.
Oh yeah. And then one player from Texas, the one that the receiver that they were trying to get to go into the transfer portal.
Yeah.
He's got a NIL with Lamborghini now. He's 20 years old driving a Lamborghini. Come on.
I swear, I saw a kid the other day. I had a meeting with Ed Tuttle Jones Monday, and I looked at this. I know he was driving a Lamborghini or some real high dollar car. I looked at it was like an 18-year-old driving. Yeah. I was like, wow. I mean, he probably one of those athletes. From Highland Park over there.
Tennessee signed the quarterback. The University of Tennessee signed the quarterback and gave him $8 million in an NIL. $8 million.
That just goes to show you too how much money was in the university and these college institutions that they should have been spending correctly before they got to this point.
And that's the problem because the Supreme Court, they took this to the Supreme Court, and it's one of the only times in history that there was a 9-0. Nobody voted against giving the players some money.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. And they're going to have some. Now they're trying to go back to Congress.
Yeah.
They done opened Pandora's box, but now they go back to Congress and try to regulate it. It's going to be hard to regulate.
It's going to be hard to regulate.
Going to take a step back. I'm just telling you. But that's something, and that's one of those things that we have to always watch because it's going to affect college sports.
Yeah.
Becoming closer to being professional.
Because at the end of the day, you're still going to need that education.
No question. That's my point. But these kids are not getting educated. They're becoming professionals at 17 years old.
So. I know. And Deion said, you ain't gonna be able to coach them after a while. No. And they never gonna be puffed up with all this, it's me and I can do it. I know what it takes. But it still take a course of being around the right coaches, being around the right terminology, and as well to have, it's a process.
Yeah. And we also know that less than 1% make it to the NFL.
Yeah, because you got injuries. You got those injuries, and you're right. You'd be surprised how many superstars came out of high school that they thought was phenom, and then next thing you know, and about a junior, senior year, they were barely getting on the field.
No question. But that's something that, like I said, we're going to have to keep monitoring over the next couple of months and years.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be some more things. The transport portals closed on May 1st.
Okay.
So we won't see it, but there's going to be some things going on in there because they're talking about some players might not play their senior year and prepare for the draft. To me, that's bizarre, but
that is crazy. That they got to have some type of strict guidelines and make sure they're consistent with with making sure that these kids are doing the right thing and making sure they're not setting up themselves for failure. Exactly.
And I hope they have something in their stipulations about education, like you said, because regardless at certain amounts, not everybody's going to get $8 million. Whatever you get, it's probably not going to last you a lifetime.
Exactly. Yeah. You still got to have an education on how to spend your money anyway.
Exactly.
You got to have some college, and you got to have some, you got to have some experience in knowing how to manage certain things in life.
No question.
Come with success. Yeah.
I agree 100%. But let's take a look at some of these things that are going on too.
Yeah.
At quarterbacks drafted, and in your opinion, who do you think will start first?
I just think the first quarterback we're taking, Kenny Pickett, going definitely be in a position to go in and play and compete. I think it makes sense for not only the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I think this kid will be he's ready. I think the offenses and the things he have done in college have prepared him. Now, one of the things I read about Tennessee Titans with Malik Willis.
I was going to get to next.
Andy Reid shared some information about Alex Smith, how he mentored Patrick Mahomes. And I think, being a professional athlete and being a starter and, one day you're going to play this game forever, I think that's part of what you need to do, because it's kind of like handing the baton down to the next generation.
It's paying forward.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about is Tannehill said that he's happy that he's talked to Malik Willis and he's happy he's there, but he's not going to do anything to help him. And I thought that, and a lot of people were up in arms, and I agree with them, because we had the opportunity to play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about the NFL is when they draft someone high, that's somebody in your position. They're drafting him to take your position. But that's a part of it.
He guaranteed 3 or 4 or 5 years that he's going to have every opportunity to play at that position. And he's the next guy that they know that they can count on.
No question. And things like that. So that's just a part of the NFL.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't look at it, like you said. Kurt Warner was talking about Eli Manning. He knew when the Giants drafted Eli Manning, but he mentored him. Patrick Mahomes was mentored by Alex Smith. Right. And that's just a part of it. You shouldn't take that attitude, because what's going to happen is a lot of times if you have bad games, the coaches are going to put that Malik Willis in, and if he does well, then Tannehill is going to lose that job anyway. And the fans are going to turn on it. They're going to start wanting Malik Willis.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it. Like you said.
But just think, if say for instance Tannehill get hurt and they go on to win the Super Bowl, he can have a Super Bowl that it's still part of the game. Injuries and the next guy up and all that stuff is part of the game. And you need to be a man about it and space the fact that you one play away from being out of here anyway.
Well, that's what happened to Carson Wentz and Nick Foles.
Yep.
And that's the same thing that happened, what you're saying. You're one injury away from being the guy.
Yeah.
Going back to the Steelers with Pickett. Pickett practiced in the same facility as the Pittsburgh Steelers. They just went in different doors.
Right.
Now, I think Trubisky is going to be okay myself, because he started off good. He struggled later on in his career, but maybe under Tomlin and the offensive staff at Pittsburgh, might be better. I don't know that, but they have a running game, Najee. They got receivers.
They got,
and they got better structure than
and
Chicago.
Trubisky, I met him and got a chance to sit down with him at a Super Bowl, and real nice, polite gentleman. I think he got everything else. I just think he just got sidetracked up there in Chicago, and I just think injuries and the people around him wasn't there to enhance it, because as well as I do, it's still a confidence level, it's a timing level, and it's chemistry with the teammates and the receiver that you have on the team.
Yeah. And that's
they had a lot of injuries at the wide receiver position. If you look at these teams that don't have a Pro Bowl receiver or have a receiver that's catching over 1,000 yards a season, then that ain't good for the quarterback.
That's true.
The success.
That's true. Yeah, and I think about other ones. Desmond Ridder, I think he's got a good chance because of Marcus Mariota's style.
Yeah.
There is no way that he's going to play 17 games.
Yeah, and I think he really is going to be. They interviewed him, and all his interviews, man, he said, "Hey, he gonna come in and he gonna compete. He want the starting position, and that's the way you got to be. I mean, you got to be cocky. You got to be cocky and show yourself for sure.
Yeah, and he's had success now.
Mm-hmm.
This is obvious that this game's gonna be faster than anything he's ever seen in his life, and how fast he can adapt to it is going to make. I don't think he's going to start the first game. If he does, he's in for a rude awakening.
He will definitely, So the schedule, don't the schedule come out tomorrow on Thursday?
Yes, it comes out tomorrow. But also Matt Carroll, I think he's in a good situation because of what Sam Darnold's done and not done. I mean, he's got an opportunity too, because he has been banged up. And I don't think Sam Darnold is a bad quarterback. I think that he's in a situation where he's got to – they started off good last year, if you remember.
Right.
And struggled. He got beat up and everything, and then they struggled. But the schedule does come out next year.
With Sam Darnold, too, I just think he hadn't been in good case scenarios. But he's with the Jets, and now he's with the Panthers, and injuries and like I said, receivers, the things that your supporting cast is a key for him. But I just think if this is going to be his opportunity to prove himself. Yeah,
because he got Christian McCaffrey, but we never know how healthy he is. And they had the receiver from the Jets. And he was pretty good.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but they're supposed to have a good. I think Matt Rule is a good coach.
Seat too, because
he's a good coach. I just think he just hadn't formulated there or something.
Yeah.
It's just lacking one or two little things, but
exactly.
And I think Chris McCarron, by him being out. McCaffrey being out and some injuries to some of the players, their linebacker core had to recharge too. They had some injuries on the linebacker, so
exactly. So those things are going to affect them. Okay, we got coming up is that Dream Ride experience, and we're going to hit that in about 4 minutes.
Okay,
talk about the Dream Ride and everything. So we'll make
Why
sure.
Why you always trying to wear the same? Because you must be trying to peep at me during the daytime, peep at my Facebook or something. I had a black shirt on today or what? What's going on with you?
You called me about the black shirt. Come on, man. Don't try to hide it. And I had my company Bellis, and we had black shirts, so I wore my black shirt today.
Oh man, I tell you what, you always thought you was a receiver, thought you could run and stuff. I
can run now. I can run.
I know you can't dance. That's for sure.
I can dance.
That's crazy. But yeah, man. I'm just waiting to see, man. These teams did. It was so many transactions. Everybody talked about the draft this year, so I think this is gonna be a good football season.
Yeah, and they're talking about a lot of things. They're talking about Arch Manning, who is his dad was the one who didn't make it, the one Manning that didn't make it. And I guess he is the oldest Manning.
Oh, yeah, the oldest Manning. Yeah, he was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the first one, and he didn't make it. But his son is highly recruited. He barreled it down to 3 schools, I think. And I think they were Alabama, Texas, and Georgia. They say Georgia has the inside track because he went to a practice there.
Oh,
now,
yeah, he
talk about NILs. This guy might get the biggest NIL ever. I mean,
and plus his last name Manning. So
yeah, with that pedigree, the fathers, the brothers, the uncles.
Man, that's just a football family. Man, they dynasty. They legends. They just got it. It's in their walk.
yeah. I mean, they guaranteed to win 1 or 2 Super Bowls if you got that Manning name.
The minimum is 2 Super Bowls.
That's the minimum. That's true too. That's true. You're gonna be in a top 5 pick as long as you stay healthy.
Yeah, you shoot, man. That's good and that's really great.
Mm-hmm. Wide receiver and bad back injuries. Arch dad Cooper, I think his name.
Yeah, Cooper. Yeah, Cooper was the dad.
Cooper, Manning. Yeah, and he was the one who didn't make it because of the injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine looking in there and looking at all that talent in that house?
Right.
Can you imagine what the conversations are like at Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh man, it got to be. It's phenomenal. I think Peyton threw him some touchdowns in high school. He was a senior, and some great highlights they have when they both got a chance to play high school football together.
Wow.
And Cooper was catching that ball. I think, and that's why Peyton went to the number 18 as well. I think too, because that was Cooper's number.
Mm-hmm. And we'll go into this dream experience, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about that dream ride experience.
Dream ride, baby.
The Hometown Foundation is excited to bring back the Dream Ride experience, August 26th to the 28th at Connecticut's Farmington Polo Club. Join us in celebrating the accomplishments of our Dream Riders while enjoying live music, a car and motorcycle show, family fun zone, pet adoptions, canine demonstrations, the Fireman's Chili Cook-Off, and much, much more. Get your tickets today.
I can see Mac now, our producer. He's going to go for the chili and the barbecue. That's all he wants. He don't know anything else.
Chili?
Yeah, chili.
You got to come down to Texas and get some barbecue.
I'm just telling you, you go chili and barbecue. You're going to be eating everything.
Man, that sounds good, though, man.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yes. Little wine. Yes.
Yeah, but back to Arch Manning. Cooper was the one, but he had, the injuries got him. And that could happen to any player. That could happen to any player. The injuries get them. And what we talked about, the NIL and things like that, you take a risk when you sign a player to that. But there's a lot of stuff going on. We'll see if Cooper goes to Georgia or Texas. I mean, I don't know, Tennessee or some of these other schools. Alabama.
Man, Georgia, man, right now I think Georgia's leading a lot of people in recruiting too. So it's a high place down in Georgia.
Where they have 15 players drafted and 5 in the first round.
Yep.
So obviously, it's a great great school to go to now, and that's what kids look at.
That's what they look at
right now. So
exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
But let's go on. Let's do a little Cowboy news.
Who?
You know.
Do they have a blue star or a gray star, silver star? I don't know.
You know that silver. You know, you grew up loving them. You grew up loving the Cowboys. You were running around there, little kid, with your cowboy hat. Cowboys on. Don't talk, Cowboys on.
I was Drew Pearson, boy. I was Drew Pearson number 2.
See? And that's the thing.
But what they talking about in Dallas? What they talking about?
Couple things. They say that Dallas has the easiest first place schedule. Here's their schedule. So they haven't come out. The schedules come out tomorrow.
Right.
They play obviously the Giants and everybody in their conference
twice.
So they play them home and away. They play the Bears, Chicago Bears.
That's a win. That's a win for the Cowboys.
You never know.
I just want to see what you're going to say. I'm just saying this to see what your reply is.
But the Bears, they play them at home. Then they play the Lions at home, who haven't won in Texas or Dallas since 2013.
Okay.
The Lions haven't won since 2013.
Yeah, almost 10 years or so. Yeah.
Exactly. Then they play the Texans at home. And
the Texans gonna be hard to beat.
I don't know. But the Texans, I think they got a chance there because people don't remember this, but the Texans' first victory as a franchise team was against the Cowboys.
Let me tell you, if I was the Texans, you know what I do?
What you do?
I get Baker Mayfield. I would. That's what I would do. But I'm not in that position to make that call.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Okay. Then they go to then they play the Colts at home.
Okay.
That's gonna be a tough game. That's gonna be a tough game.
It's gonna be a tough game.
You got Matt Ryan there.
Matt Ryan has still got it. He still got it.
Great physical team. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys handled the physical game.
But you know what? I can say this. Dallas last year, this was one of the best seasons that they played at home. This last year was one of the best seasons.
You're right. Because they got the Buccaneers at home too with Tom Brady.
And but last year they opened up with the Buccaneers and lost by 1 point.
That's right. But here's the thing I think about is that Brady's going to hit the wall. We just don't know when. It could be this year. It could be. He's going to hit the wall.
He ain't going to hit the wall on the start. I'm telling you that. Brady going to come on here and beat the socks off the Cowboys.
I don't think he's ever lost to the Cowboys. I don't think
they should have. They had their chance to beat them last year. That was like I said. They should have beat them then. But no, it should be a good game. I mean, Dallas. I think Dallas gonna be up for the.
Oh yeah,
we'll see.
Oh yeah. Then they also have the Bengals at home.
What? They got the Bengals?
That's gonna be a tough game.
That's gonna be a tough game. That's gonna be a tough game.
Joe Burrow's gonna drop dimes.
Man,
now here's where the interesting part. They've already said when this game is going to be is the Packers.
November 13th. I already looked it up.
Yeah.
November 13th.
Yep.
And guess what? Mike McCarthy's going back up to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know they're going to have some booze up there for him.
Yes. Yes, no question. Yeah. But they might
said that. They called that game out before the schedules came out.
Yeah. They might be cheering them because we got them now and we can't get rid of them.
But you know, and for the anticipation that game, that might depend whether the Cowboys win the East or not. And November 13th is right before Thanksgiving.
That's gonna be tough because they're gonna have the Jaguars.
Okay,
I think the Jaguars would be better, but the Cowboys should have an opportunity to win that game. Then I'm not saying this is teams, the Titans, Tennessee.
Oh,
and they got to deal with
I tell you what, if Malik Willis is in there by then.
Oh shoot!
But check this out. The Tennessee Titans. I checked them out. They went 9-7 a couple of years ago, 9-7 the year before, and then it was 11-5 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost some games at the end. But I'm telling you, when they lost was when the coach was, I think he missed a game too with COVID or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But definitely Tennessee Titans is going to be one of the hardest teams to beat.
Yeah. And then they got that grown man in the backfield. He's bigger than their whole defensive line and Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Derrick Henry. Grown man back there too. So
he carried that ball. I'm telling you.
And then they got to play Minnesota. And I think they should be okay. I know my man Jason's not here. They should be okay against
Minnesota. I'm just gonna like the way they're gonna open it up on the offensive side. I know you don't like Cousins, but I'm telling you, the new coach is then already brought some excitement with the news of the new coach and Justin Jefferson and Darren Cook.
They have the talent, but I'm just telling you, Cousins is going to screw it up.
Okay,
he's going to screw it up. He's a coach killer.
Okay. You know more about coaching than anybody else been around. So
because he's gonna do something, he's gonna want to do it his way. Instead of you talk about that with young players, but he's not gonna take the coaching. I'm just telling you.
And I think they did pretty good in the draft.
Oh yeah, they did.
Well, the Vikings did. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Rams away, which is gonna be difficult.
You know, another thing, flip back real quickly on the draft. People don't realize 6 or 7 players ain't going to add a whole lot to you.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Well, people go crazy about the draft.
Although, now we're going to talk about the Giants.
Okay.
And they released Bradbury, which is starting in. That's kind of unusual.
Well, they say themselves, I think $10.1 million against cap.
You're right.
They did do that. So they were trying to trade him. They've been trying to trade him.
Mm-hmm. And they couldn't trade him, but somebody's going to get a pretty good DB.
Man, he's really legit. I think he was in the top 100 players last year.
Mm-hmm. So he was. So let's look at what the Giants are. I'm pulling it up at home. Okay. And I keep pulling. I think the Giants are going to be good. Obviously, they play everybody in the NFC East.
Right, twice.
And they play the Chicago Bears.
Good.
Yeah. The Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they should play the same people that Dallas play.
Carolina, not necessarily. Some of them.
Carolina Panthers? Carolina Panthers?
This is at home. The Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens, man. They just got Mike Davis. The Ravens signed him for 1 year. The running back.
For the running back.
Yeah.
Now here's at away. They play the Green Bay Packers in London.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Minnesota Vikings. They play the Jacksonville Jaguars. they play the Tennessee Titans, and they play the Seattle Seahawks. So I think they will be better. Will they win the division? It's going to be tough.
It's going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging.
I think they might have the Defensive Player of the Year in Thibodeau.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you're on my page now. You're talking my language. And guess what Thibodeau did? He made a $50,000 donation to Graham Jano, the punter, for that number 5. So he got his number, baby.
Yeah.
And plus, you know, he got Mike Strayhorn gonna be talking in his ear. So
and Ozzie Umenero.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have some good guidance around him.
Exactly.
I think the offensive lineman from Neil, is it Neil?
Yeah, Neil Evans.
And I think he's going to be good too. So they got 2 good players. But it is hard starting at left tackle in the NFL as a rookie.
Evan Neal.
I'm
going to get it right because Evan Neal, that boy is bad.
Yeah, but it's hard because you saw Penny Toole at Detroit trying to start at left tackle.
Yeah.
You got to know all the tricks of the trade, and it's hard for rookies to do.
You got some horses on that defensive line over there that's coming every play.
Yeah.
You're right.
So that'll be interesting in how they do that.
But you know what? I do think Thibodeau and Evan Neal is pro-ready. I think pro-ready.
I think Neal started right, which is probably a better position than Thomas has started left.
But Thomas need to get his move his feet just a little bit. See, last year they were going around him. You know, maybe he got better at the end of the season, but you know he was he got some experience now behind him.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they're going to have to prepare themselves for. Is now I can see Thomas is starting at left, and he does need a guard, and the Cowboys got the guard they needed.
We signed a lot of free agent linemen. So we got 5 of them.
Competitive now.
Yeah.
Okay. May the best man win.
Yeah.
May the best man win.
Well, people don't understand when you beef up your line, and the Giants did that in the free agent market. I think they're gonna shock some people right there.
I do too. I think they're gonna be. I think Washington is gonna be better. I think Washington football team is gonna be a better team this year.
The Commandos.
Yeah. Excuse me, the Commodores, but they're a brick house. But
you know, it's gonna be interesting. But you know what?
It'll be more competitive.
This is what we know in the East so far. The team that win the division don't win the division next year. It always be somebody else. So I'm thinking the Giants and the Eagles gonna squeeze that Cowboy collar. Gonna squeeze a little bit.
This year it's gonna change. Cowboys will win.
Okay.
It won't be by a runaway. They won't go undefeated in the division. Somebody.
But you know what? The thing too, I think the strength of the out of division playing schedule is a little bit weaker than it was last year.
Exactly. And then the real big thing in the NFL is health. The teams that can stay healthy have an opportunity. Yeah. When you look at all these teams, they talk about it. All these teams have experienced quarterbacks that have played at least a year. Obviously, Wentz is new in Washington with the Commodores, but he's played before. Obviously, down here in Dallas, Daniel Jones, who's got to win because they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, and then obviously Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. So you got a division where now you got experienced quarterbacks at different points in their career.
Now let me tell you what I look for. This is my intangible thing that I look for in teams. When I'm looking at these teams, it's what they're doing between now and July.
Yeah.
And it's so important because that's really what prepares you for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I think.
I think what the Giants have done well is they made competition in every position.
Absolutely.
Competition makes you rise.
And they definitely need competition at the wide receiver position.
Oh, yeah, no question.
And I think they might have improved a little bit on the tight end position.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Daniel Jones can get that timing down, and not try to run the ball. He don't need to try to run the ball. He need to use the running back, use what he, use his talent around him, and be smarter with the ball.
Yeah. No question. It's gonna be interesting. This will be a fun season.
Yeah, they already said they're not gonna renew his 5th year.
Oh, they already did, yeah. The same with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. So this is shut up or put up, so I'm thinking they're gonna play some hard football.
Yeah, and Saquon Barkley is 2 years removed from the injury. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna be more effective, I think. But we know that running backs don't have a long shelf life anyway.
We say that all the time.
Yeah, and that's just the reality of it because it's such a physically demanding position. They're great athletes, but they get beat up and you're getting hit. You got a guy now that runs a 4.7 something in Philly, and I mean, he weighs 340 pounds. Can you imagine getting hit by that?
Big Davis, Jordan Davis, I think.
Yeah, Jordan Davis. I mean, guys like that, that's crazy. I mean, shoot.
That's a Mack truck, bro.
Your boy, when he sees him, if they don't play Arizona this year, but if they played the Cardinals, Kyler Murray will see him and just quit. He just, your boy. He fall down before he get off the ball.
Man, Kyler he gonna be on here. Man, I'm telling you.
Emmitt Smith played for quite a while, but in recent years, Gore did, but now you don't see these running backs, these high drafted running backs play for long.
No, and Gore going back and signing his 1-day contract.
Yeah, contract.
Yeah.
Yep. So he can retire.
A 49.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What I was gonna ask you a question about this great Buffalo Bill defensive lineman, Jerry Hughes. He went
to the Texans.
Yeah, he went to the Texans. So he been with the Bills for 12 years, I think, huh?
Yeah, he was a good pass rusher too.
Yeah.
He was a good back.
Very consistent guy.
He's a TCU guy.
Okay. Yeah.
He was a TCU guy, and he was just signed with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna finish his career probably here in Texas.
Okay.
And he'll give him some pass rush. If they utilize him like they did at the end of my career, where he doesn't have to play more than 25, 30 plays a game.
Right.
So that'll keep him fresh, and he understands how to rush quarterbacks.
Yeah, because they said he was averaging at least 6 sacks a year.
Yep. Yeah.
He almost up there. He's almost on the 100 sack club, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, only 36 in the NFL.
36. I want you to tell everybody. That's why I said that, because I want you to announce that only 36. 36.
And you know how long the NFL's been around.
That's a special club. I think I'm gonna start managing these guys. I'm the president of the 36 club.
Oh man!
Everybody trying to make some money, Jim.
Oh man! I'm part of that 36 club.
Hey, that's good, man. Congratulations, man. That's special. That's special.
But we did have an event at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, and all the top rushers, pass rushers.
Are y'all gonna have an event out there in Phoenix this year?
Yeah, we're gonna have it in Glendale.
It should be some annual that you guys do every year.
Yeah, it's annual. Bruce Smith started.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Who is the all-time leading sacker in the NFL history?
Okay.
And he started it, and he brought in, and me and Bruce played together.
I think the first year, I know. I think the first year that they started keeping up the sacks, I think they didn't keep all Lawrence Taylor sacks. So Lawrence Taylor probably.
I agree. But I don't think he was. Bruce Smith was. I'm trying.
I do. I'm just messing with you.
I've never seen anything like it. And I've seen LT. And I have nothing but total respect for him. But Bruce Smith was from another world. Yeah, and then they didn't.
Deacon Jones. Yeah,
there's quite a few. But hey, I don't make the rules. I just live by them. I don't make the rules.
You're part of the rules. That's all. You gotta say you're part of the rules.
I'm changing the rule on quarterback.
We got to change some of these rules. I know that.
Yeah.
We want to make these. We want to make these this team physical like it's supposed
right.
to be.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question for you. And I know your new coach came from Buffalo, but do you think Buffalo was a physical team? Because they threw the ball a lot.
They weren't physical on the offensive side, no.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Defensively, with Leslie Frazier, they might have been, but they were more of a pressure team.
Exactly.
He's
And
the old Jim Johnson guy.
And I tell you what really made Buffalo what it was Josh Allen, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, for his offense, you know, you can't hardly name the running backs up there in Buffalo hardly, you know, because Josh Allen was doing so much, you know.
Yeah. So it is an honor and privilege to have Carlos here tonight.
Hey, Carlos.
Carlos, it's an honor and privilege. We are blessed to have you in our presence. Can the Giants win more than 7 games? Yes, Carlos.
With this schedule,
will they win more than 7 games? It remains to be seen.
With this schedule, Carlos, they will win 8 games at least. B-Dub is telling you 8 games because we lost 4 games last year that they should have won. Jumping off sides at the end of the game.
Same with the Cowboys, and they won. Shoot.
What game did the Cowboys jump off sides?
A lot against the 49ers, remember?
Well, yeah. Well, you know, he said Josh Allen has no line, but let me tell you something. Josh Allen is a special quarterback.
Yes, Carlos. He is a big
he know when to get rid of that ball, and he can run. They can't stop him. And when he run, it's hard to bring him down.
Yeah, and actually, I'm going up there to watch a Bills game in person, and then it's after my son's game in the CFL. I'm going to go to his game first and then come back through Buffalo and watch their game. So I'm going to go on the weekend where I can watch both games.
They're going to be good. That can be a special time right there.
Yeah, it will be. It will be because I love the games in Buffalo are unbelievable.
Mafia's up there, you know.
Yeah, Bills Mafia.
I know you like that Bill Mafia.
Yeah, I like that.
Bill just. I mean, I heard from a lot of retired players, and they talk about how they treat their former players as well. And
unbelievable.
They do a super job.
They really do, and there's a guy named Jeremy Kelly who does a tremendous job with the alumni, and he works with them. So, and he's a really good guy, and he played obviously in Canadian League and the NFL, and he's really good with the players. When I was going to watch my son in the Grey Cup, he found me, and he went up there because he had played for Hamilton, and we had spent some time together. Jeremy is a good man, and then he was at the 100 Sack Club. He was out there, so we took a little picture together. I like Jeremy.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I know we don't have that much time. Let's talk about the playoffs. Who are your teams to get to the next round?
For the NBA?
Yeah.
I tell you what, Boston and Milwaukee, man, they playing some good basketball. Of course, I think Miami gonna beat Philadelphia. Just because they probably go to Game 7. Most of these teams gonna probably go to Game 7.
So? I don't know if Miami will go there.
Huh?
I don't know if
I don't think Miami gonna beat.
I don't know if Philly can do anything because Embiid has been hurt with the mask and everything, and I think that's really affected him.
But you know what? I just like Miami style of play, so I think they'll definitely go to the next round.
Yeah, so I would agree with you on that.
If all the players can come back from Milwaukee, I had already picked Milwaukee. But I'm telling you, Boston Celtics, man, seem like they fine-tuned it at the right time. So, they playing good basketball.
And with Middleton out, Chris Middleton.
Yeah, they can't win without Chris. Yeah. They can't win without
Drew Holiday could take up some of the slack. But last time I looked, it's like 83 to 73.
Okay.
Now
Chris Middleton, man, he's the real deal. It's hard to replace
he's a
like
big
him.
physical guy for a guard.
Yeah.
And they're not matching up well with Tatum and Brown.
No.
And so,
and Horford, Tatum Brown. Yeah.
Horford had a really good game. Al Horford. So that's
he did. He had 30 points. So
him and Tatum had 30 points.
Yeah.
And then it's showing Brown's hitting threes and stuff. So it's 2-2 now, but it's 3. And Boston has the home field advantage, home court advantage. I keep going back to football, but they have the home court advantage. Now, in the West, you got Memphis, and I think Golden State's going to, without Ja Morant.
They can't beat him without Josh. Yeah, without Morant. Yeah.
I think Ja Morant is special, but right now they say that he is he's got I would Duncan, I agree with you, Carlos, but right now it's 86-77, and this is 2-2. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. But let's go back to Memphis and Golden State. I mean, do you think that was a intentional play when the Poole from Golden State pulled his knee?
I don't think so.
It's a bone bruise. So
it's hard. It's hard to intentionally do that. I think it's just part of your reaction, trying to reach for the ball, and so happened his knee was there. I just think in the heat of the moment, it's so fast and things happen like that, a split second on the court. I don't think it was intentionally done.
Mm-hmm. And what now you think? I think it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, okay.
I think that changed the series.
No doubt. But those injuries, man, it's just a split second, and seems like they happen when you don't expect it. But man, that's part of the game. Unfortunately, they got to have him on the court in order to win.
Yeah. I agree. And then we got the last one, the Mavericks and the Suns.
The Mavericks gonna play good here. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna get their butt whooped, but
they haven't beat Phoenix in 12 games.
Yeah.
So and and what happened was the third quarter, they had 12. They had more turnovers, 12, than they had made shots, 6.
They stayed in the locker room at halftime.
Yep.
They came out of there and they just weren't even playing. Like Phoenix just having a warm up.
I know. And Devin Booker just went unconscious.
Oh man. Yeah.
And then him and Luka got something personal going on right now.
Yeah, and that's good. That they are 2 of the upcoming superstars in the NBA. So you want to see that. You want to create that.
Yeah, and that's you're right, Carlos. Memphis is hurting without Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Luka didn't play well last night either. He didn't.
Well, I think Luka got to kind of help get the other players involved, and right now I don't know who's gonna step up.
Exactly.
So it's one of those things.
Stepped up. He had I want to say he had a 21 or 20.
Who that?
Brunson.
Yeah, Brunson. Yeah, he had really improved. He's
the one that hasn't stepped up is Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
To me, everybody else is Freeney.
He's on the off switch. I mean, he's not. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been struggling in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know? And they figured out Luka and the center's little play. So.
Yeah.
And then Carlos is talking. The Bucks bench can't score. Giannis has got a lot on him. But we're close to that 2-minute warning.
2 minutes. I'm about to do the wallow.
Oh, don't wallow. Don't embarrass yourself.
You just mad because I got some.
What happened to Miss Marlene? That's your friend.
She's sleeping in the Giants. She's sleeping in the Cowboys den. She over there sleeping because I sent her the link. I sent her the link. So
yeah, I don't know what's going on with Miss Marlene.
Maybe she having stars in her dreams.
Maybe
and stars are like sleep right now. Maybe she waits till the schedule come out.
Maybe and then she'll be back. That's it. So
yeah. But she definitely a Cowboy fan. So we don't want to rattle her.
She's on the good side.
We don't want to rattle her bell. We don't want her. But we definitely.
It looks like you got a fan here. Carlos looks like he's a Giants fan, calling Giants 7+.
Yeah. Carlos know what's up. He's a football man. I got to get him an autograph. I got to get him a Vikings autograph.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
He loves
what time it is. That's B time.
B time.
B time. Thank everybody for visiting with us tonight. Be here next week. We'll be here.
JMB, baby.
There you
JMB.
go. Waddle on it.
You need to press your dancing.
Oh, whatever. Mac.